What have you decided to do?
I'll have a bowl first. The pitch looks quite damp, and we are playing 3 fast bowlers, so I want to utilize whatever the juice is on the pitch.
Any team changes?
Yeah, there are a couple of changes. Obviously, Moeen is unfit. He's not playing. Fiqh Rahman, the newcomer, he's the debutant in this test match. And then Shahid Afridi is playing in place of Rajat Wasti because pitch might turn later on. And so the place of Wasim Akram.
You must be happy with the way the boys put up the effort in the first test match.
Yeah, I was very much delighted. The team is now clicking together and we're playing positive cricket. Just want to go positive, play good cricket. The result.
That's how Sri Lanka lined up. Atapattu and Jayasuriya. They found a pretty good opening pair in recent times. And Russell Arnold, Aravinda De Silva, Mahida Jayawardena, Tilakratna Dilshan coming in place of the injured Arjuna Ranatunga. Then Kalavitarna Ras, Vikramasinghe and Muralidharan with Pushpa Kumara coming in for Nuwan Zoita. Pakistan, lots of changes in their lineup. Saeed Anwar and Amir Sohail at the top. Rajatullah Wasti is gone. In Yohana, Indraman, Yunus Khan goes up. Shahid Afridi comes into the middle order. Abdul Razak, Atiqul Zaman coming in for Moin Khan. Then Waqar Yunus, and right down at the bottom, Arshad Khan and Shoaib Akhtar in for Wasim Akram. Then Waqar Yunus, and right down at the bottom, Arshad Khan and Shoaib Akhtar in for Wasim Akram and Tasleen Mushtaq. So all kinds of changes in that Pakistan team, a debut as well for Atiq Zaman. So Sri Lanka batting first after Pakistan put them in. Let's catch the highlights.
Here's the first ball. Waqar Yunus. Lovely shot through mid-off. Let's see what carry this ball has over the outfield. Yes, it seems pretty fast. It seems to have dried out under the influence of the morning sun. And that's the first scoring shot. And what a lovely shot to get off the mark with from Atupatu.
Yunus over pitching, thinking that he'll probably get a bit of away movement once again to tease Atapatu on his off stump, but not a great deal of movement. It was nicely patted away through mid-off. What a lovely start. Nicely easing into that stroke and finding a gap.
No ball. So Antoine Nazir Jr. making the call. There's that long stride by Shoaib. Still the step in the front crease. Again, pace. Beaten, looking for the big drive. Pace through the air. And lucky that ball didn't go back onto the stump. And a good save by the keeper.
Oh, that was inches away from the off stump. Turner Jayasuriya missing it completely. Beaten for pace and also probably the length.
Lovely shot again, over pitch from Waqar, and Atupatu clinically puts him through mid-off for the second time. The 2 boundaries to Atupatu.
Again, a beautiful off drive. Hardly any effort being put into this drive. Look at that. Directing it beautifully, just middling it. Once again in that area of mid-off. Copybook stuff from Marwan Atapatu.
Whipped away this time off the leg. So Waqar just over pitching at the present moment. And that's his style. Just is carrying it up a little bit too much. And Atupatu very quick to put him away.
Beautifully driven this time through mid-wicket. Didn't have to do too much Atapatu because the ball was there. He executed through that mid-wicket area. Beautiful timing once again. Yunus, they're analyzing what went wrong.
Trotting through for the single, not quite timing that. Takes the strike with the single, 14 without loss. No third man, so as soon as it gets past the slips at that pace, it's going to go for 4. So another boundary for Atupatu.
was safely negotiated, Ratapatu, playing it nicely down in the gap with a pickish edge. Although there are 3 slips in the gully, it's played nicely. Not a lot of bounce in this pitch. The slips will have to adjust, as will the bowlers, because it's just a little frustrated, Shoaib Akhtar. This cricket not really helping him.
Good quick bounce, but nothing too much from the pitch with that short ball. 19 without loss. Beauty. Didn't quite carry through and well taken by the keeper, but he beat him all ends up. That one leading the left-hander.
Very good delivery. So he has to clear that one. Not a lot of good footwork from the left-hander. He's staying in his crease, not knowing whether the ball would come back or leave. It was nicely taken by Atiku Zaman. A bit of movement for Waqar.
And let's work out to Jayasuriya. Hesitation, Shahid Afridi, and it's gone. So overthrows will count as 5, and Samit Jayasuriya's first run, which was a scramble single, ends up in a 5. 24 without loss. In the air, over the top, didn't quite time it as he wanted, but still gets 2 runs for it. Rather desperate looking shot from Jayasuriya.
Well, we know Samit playing in the air to the offside, but Shoaib Akhtar must have been just a little surprised by that stroke. Aerial in route and away from the mid-off fieldsman. Couldn't time it. To time the deliveries so far in this innings. Taking that extra bit of risk, Samit Jayasuriya.
That's a better struck. Came off the thick outside edge, but went very quickly, and enough of the bat onto it that it really sped away to the boundary.
This was beautifully struck. Samit Jayasuriya playing it in the air. And Yunus Khan, in all probability, losing the side of the delivery.
Sent back and well called by Atupatu. Takes me back to the days of the West Indies in the 1980s, when they were well served with a host of fast bowlers. Now Pakistan have them.
Quick delivery, having Samit Jayasuriya to go back on the back foot. Sensing the single not there. There have been a couple more fast bowlers that have been discovered to the under-19 circuit. As I'd say, the left-arm teamer picked up 90-odd wickets in the World Cup under-19.
A quick delivery. Get out of the way quickly, Sanaf. 30 without loss. As we see that delivery from Shoaib Akhtar, really quick and direct over the top of the middle stump. And Samit Jayasuriya had to go down very quickly to get out of the way.
Run away down the third man. When you look at the field, 2 slips, 3 in the covers, and a third man now for the left-hander, but it's no different for the left-hander than the right. A square leg and a mid-on. Now here's the side that's just been put in, and that's the sort of field you will see, well, at any stage in the game really. So already Syed Anwar, that's what the cheering is all about, that you can hear on the effects microphones. Roy Rogers and the Cisco Kid. That dates you. This is that unit. Ball had a reasonable carry on it. 31 for no wicket. Good stroke from Atupatu, but straight to backward point. And then Shoaib in for the injured Wazir Akram. Shoaib Akhtar. See how slow that bounce is. And you can tell the body language from the bowler. He would like a bit more pace in this pitch.
Well, no doubt. I think they're certainly getting frustration coming up from Shoaib Akhtar. Not being able to produce the type of bounce which the Pakistanis thought they would get from this pitch. Certainly there was an element of dampness earlier on, but the right front that has been beaming down on this pitch has enabled it to dry up constantly. And Marwan Atupatu has started with a great deal of assurance straight away in this second test match.
Look at this last delivery. Fastest bowler in the world. 1, 2, 3 bounces to the keeper. That really makes you feel good about being out there. Oh, well. Got one over his head at last, he's saying. And signalled by umpire Nazir to be the one for the over. Almost took his own toenail off.
The intensity certainly goes up when Shoaib Akhtar is at the bowling crease, and there you could see that certainly he's not pleased with some of those deliveries that have been really not carrying to the wicketkeeper. Looking to bend his back, revving it up a bit. Pakistan certainly would need to pick up a wicket now.
Short and wideish. It is a maiden. 31 for no wicket. Atupatu, 18 from 28 deliveries. Jayasuriya hasn't looked quite as, how do I put it, as organised as Atupatu.
Both Waqar and Shoaib really haven't been able to get the ball even to waist height of the wicketkeeper. So one might wonder whether he keeps feeling his way or whether he's sort of standing in the right position. One needs to try and pick up the ball around waist height when the ball's really falling down rather than on the rise.
What has also been apparent today is the lack of swing that certainly Waqar Younis has created. We saw him swing the ball into the left-hander away from the right beautifully in Rawalpindi, at Pindi Stadium. Here, he hasn't swung the ball 1 inch. And it's a chilly sort of atmosphere. It's not really that humid, although I'm not a huge believer in swinging conditions. Some are obvious, others aren't quite. I've always felt that some cricket balls actually swing more than others. The cricket balls used here are kookaburras from Australia, imported from Australia. They all look pretty much exactly the same in the box. They're not man-made, they're machine-made. They're not hand-stitched as the English balls are.
The lack of movement, no doubt, must be causing a fair deal of concern for the Pakistanis. And Waka in particular has been bowling a much fuller length, is looking to try and extract as much movement as possible, but to not much avail. Sri Lanka's looking very comfortable. And this big crowd here at this stadium here enjoying some good cricket.
The end of the over, a 32 for no wicket. Well, he's hit that at the bottom of the bat. That's why he hasn't got quite as much on it as he would have liked, and it hasn't gone for 4. But that's wonderful running. It's a no ball as well.
The feature of the batting of Jayasuriya and Atapattu, since they've been opening together, has been good running between wickets. And Jayasuriya just not getting that right on the meat, more on the toe of the bat, but the Sri Lankans picking up 3 runs in the process.
Good stroke. Lovely timing again from Atapattu. Syed Anwar does the fielding. And the end of the over. 38 for no wicket. Ashad Khan, the local lad from Peshawar, into the attack already. And remember, Pakistan won the toss and elected to bowl first. So this isn't all according to plan, let me tell you. His 4th match. He's taken 11 wickets in the 3 that he's played already. Oh! There's a way to start. Very tall man, so a very long stride, but goodness me, that's a few paces.
Not the most auspicious way to get about it. After Khan bowling his first delivery.
Oh, cleverly played, and it'll run away for 4.
That's certainly very well played by Sanat Jayasuriya. Just getting a little bit of bat, and once you do that in that area, certainly in business, plenty of open spaces. The ball's just racing through despite the heavy rain that had inundated this ground. It's been a bit sluggish, but all the same, the ball racing through with the pace generated by the bowler.
There's a little bit of turn there. End of the over, 43 for no wicket. Good stroke. The ball going further behind square than Atapattu would have liked. But that is due to the pace of the pitch.
A little edge onto the pad, perhaps. We'll wait for umpire. John Hampshire says not out. It's just ballooned in the air. And perhaps Ramesh, the replay may help. Yes, over the time, something thinking that Atapattu had nicked it. Very confident in feeling. Yusuf Johanna, the catcher, is more confident. I'm giving it a bit of loop and turn. Maybe just off the pad. Good decision. Definitely enough, a lot of pressure going on the umpire. And let's just watch fairly closely. I think it's probably straight onto the pad. Certainly not one we could detect. Looking at it again and again on super slow-mo. So John Hampshire being put under pressure early. And I think giving it the right call. It's a slow pitch, and the batsmen will have to really use their feet to get something away to the boundary, against the spin especially. Well, that's a very good stop by Shahid Afridi. In fact, it's Yunus Khan, and he makes a good stop there. A full-blooded pull shot. Should have perhaps done better with the placement. Back and across, a very good effort from Yunus Khan. Atapatu failing to find the gap and putting the shot delivery away to the boundary. That's almost gone through him. And Jayasuriya squirts it behind square for one. 46 for none. This time it's Afridi fielding just behind point, not for Yunus Khan. Jayasuriya cutting and cutting well, but a very good effort from Shahid Afridi. Youngsters coming in for Pakistan and doing a very good job in the field. Yunus Khan, Shahid Afridi, Abdul Razak. Well, that one's just too close onto the pads. Just a single. I thought Jayasuriya might have done better from that one. 4 runs. Short, wide. Jayasuriya says thank you very much. All he had to do was place it. He did so. So the 50 comes up in the 15th over. Well, this is a little slow. And Ashraf Khan giving a little bit of width and room to Sanat Jayasuriya, is quickly in position. So that offside sweeper's already back there. And Yunus Khan has gone back from point right onto the boundary. Great crowd in. Charging and going down, hitting it over the top. Much squarer than he would have wanted. Atapatu trying, I fancy, initially to hit it over mid-on. It ended up just in front of square. So he miscues, survives nevertheless. End of 15, 54 for none. Top shot. Just in front of point. And Jayasuriya, in typical fashion, using the pace of the ball and punishing it. Shabaksa just overpitching a little. Margin of error is minimal. There's Sanat Jayasuriya latching onto that one quickly through the point area, his favorite position. Going to be tough for Shoaib Akhtar. Now he's just got to settle now for line and length. He's the fastest bowler in the world, just by a fraction from Brent Lee. But under these conditions, the faster you bowl it, the quicker you're likely to disappear and make it easier for the batsman. Oh, he's bowled him. He's played it on. Jayasuriya very lazy there, coming forward, playing away from his front pad. The bat was on an angle, and all he succeeded in doing was dragging it onto his stumps. Well, a disappointing end to Sanat's innings. He was probably beaten for pace as well. It's a quick delivery, bowling from wider of the crease. And there you see that bat coming just a little slowly onto that delivery, going away from the front pad as well. He's gone. And Sri Lanka 58 for 1. They've reached the crease. They took drinks at the same time between that the fall of the wicket. And let's watch it again. And certainly on target, full-ish, but a decent line and length with some pace, as you would expect from this man. And the mistake from the batsman, allowing the dismissal to take place. So well bowled and an ordinary shot. At 30 runs for Jayasuriya, nevertheless, 30 from just 49 balls. He could well have been playing limited overs knock. First ball coming in now to Arnold. Tried to York him, didn't quite get it in the right place, but a good attempt from him, a successful over. Just 4 from it and the wicket, 58 for 1. Patu has got to capitalize on his good form. He's middling the ball quite beautifully. Saw early in the first test match. He failed to a couple of really bad shots. In good form, you need to just carry on with the good work. Not allow complacency to creep into your game plan. Russell Arnold scored 26 in the first innings, first test, and just 6 in the second. He needs a score here to build his confidence. For 1.
Very good delivery on that occasion, but once again, the Bucks are just overstepping. That's his fourth no ball. See that he's been striving for that little bit more on this pitch, which hasn't afforded the Pakistanis bowlers much.
Nice save. It's well timed by Arnold. Arnold still looking for his first run. Delivery so far. Nice full face of the bat. And forcing Syed Anwar to move across the mid-off very quickly.
Arshad Khan has maintained a consistent line and length despite the fact that he's been entrusted with a rather newish ball. Arnold, a very spirited young cricketer, looking to get off the mark.
And he does now. Swept it very fine indeed. They'll come for 2. So Arnold gets going, scoring his first run off his 12th delivery.
Arnold good on the sweep and it's off the mark. He would be looking to make some sort of impression. Let's take a challenge for Arshad Khan on that occasion. The older ball, better grip, and imparting some sort of spin into it. And Arnold in his short career so far, already picking up 200. 123 versus Pakistan in the Asian Test Championship being his best. Determination and ability to play long innings, which has been most impressive.
And Arshad turns over 62 for 1. Sri Lanka sent in Aravinda De Silva to come next, and that's a name which must have been over the years something which absolutely drives the Pakistanis to desperation. Well bowled by Arshad. Turned the ball quite appreciably, gone down towards the boundary, and it's legged by something off the front pad. Excitement though, because the ball did brush something, and no one was to know beyond those in the middle what it had brushed. Good delivery.
Excellent delivery by Arshad Khan, and you could see Russell Arnold playing the long line, looking to play across the line in fact, and that must have given the Pakistanis some hope.
Just seemed to brush the back pad as it went deflected away from Sohail. It slipped to the boundary. So he's getting some turn here. Arnold will have to watch him carefully, attempting that sweep. Just has to protect the leg stump. If he is going to sweep, could well be bowled behind his back. The ball is turning here.
Delivery such as that would raise the hopes of the Pakistanis. They have to try and pick up wickets quickly. They must consider themselves in a situation where they have to bat last on this pitch. With Muralidharan bowling for Sri Lanka, that's not going to be an easy proposition.
A bit of turn and bounce there for Arshad to the left-hander. Just try to go round the wicket to change the angle, make him play. Settle down now, Arshad. Started with a no ball the very first ball. Obviously will be a little bit nervous. He's not a regular in the Pakistan side. Called in to do a big job here to replace Zach Lane. And he's settled down. 66 for 1. Picked off for a single. Beautifully bowled. Beat him outside the edge. Searching for it.
Russell Arnold a bit tentative. Really not being himself this innings. Been searching around that area.
Well bowled by Razak. He's immediately set into a nice rhythm here, Razak, and he's got nice line and length.
Razak does depend on rhythm to extract something, and he certainly does do that very quickly. And been worrying Russell Arnold around that region. Just in the channel and doing a little bit. He's been able to bring about that sense of movement. He no doubt is disappointed.
Having been beaten outside an off stump, just ensuring where his off stump is now. He need not have played it the two previous ones, although they were quite close. So having had the judgment on it, takes the bat out of the way.
Razak has been consistent in the channel, and Russell Arnold now needs to bring about a great deal of concentration.
High class over from Abdul Razak, 67 for 1. A field for a catch of the wicket. Nazir Jr. is having a close look. He's given him. So a long deliberation from Nazir Jr. I think what happened there was that there were two sounds, and Nazir Jr. just had to make up in his mind whether one of those sounds was leather on wood. He decided it was. Arnold goes.
Arnold once again firing outside off stump and paying the penalty. Yes, there was a nick and a deflection at that as well. And Nazir Jr., after having a very close look, rules him out. So Sri Lanka have lost their second wicket, with Arnold gone caught by the new wicketkeeper Atik for 2 off the bowling of Razak. Sri Lanka 67 for 2.
Aravind this over. The man who loves Pakistani bowling. He's got 8 test hundreds against them, including one in the first test at Rawalpindi. Comes in now to replace Russell Arnold, who's just been caught behind. First dismissal in test cricket for the new keeper, Atiq Uz-Zaman. And a deserving wicket for Abdul Razak, who troubled Russell Arnold from the very start of what has been so far a brief spell. This is only his third over. Now the silver. Big appeal for leg before and close, but not close enough. Nazir Jr. says not out. Abdul Razak seeming to make a habit of getting wickets with successive balls. Did in both innings in Rawalpindi, but not quite here.
Once again, a very good first ball by Abdul Razak to Aravind de Silva. Just angling it a little too much, maybe. And Nazir Jr. ruling in favor of De Silva, and that's how Russell Arnold went.
Nazir Jr. had to make up in his mind there. He would have heard two sounds, and there are those two sounds, and no question the ball coming off the outside edge and going into the gloves of the keeper after it looked like it had either brushed the pad or his bat had brushed the pad, but certainly there were two impacts there. Let's have a look again.
And just have a close look, and there you are. That's the deflection, which umpire Nazir Jr. certainly very rightly made the right decision. It was a close call, but a very good decision by the umpire.
So Pakistan had come back well after a solid opening partnership between Atupatu and Surya. 58. They've picked up Surya and Arnold, the two left-handers. And they'll feel a lot much easier with their position here. Looks very much as if Sri Lanka were building the base for an excellent start. Now there's a process of rebuilding that has to go on.
A more enthusiastic looking Pakistani side out there now, because that Khan too falling into some sort of rhythm. Far more aggressive with those close-in fielders clustered round the right-handed Atupatu.
Brings Aravinda De Silva into a strike now. He's got 100 behind him in the last test match. In good form and tremendous record against Pakistan. Look at those 800 of his 18 coming in against Pakistan alone, and only on one occasion has he failed to convert a 50 into 100.
De Silva provided a bit of a scare before the game started. He was hobbling around for a while. Some sort of injury sustained during practice sessions. Sri Lankans are very pleased by the fact that he was able to take the field.
Not a tall man, but he stretches right out. He really takes a long stride down, takes it on the pad, taking that batter inside the line. There's that long stride forward once more. It comes up off the top of the pad, or perhaps the roll of the pad onto his face.
That ball did rear up a bit. Some sort of uncertainty. Yes, I think off the roll onto De Silva's face. De Silva without a visor, end of the over. 68 for 2.
Nice looking shot. Stood up straight on his toes, hit it square in the offside, and there'll be time enough for them to come match the free if they were so inclined, but the silver wasn't. 71 for 2 at the end of the over. And the ladies here interested in the game, we saw down in Rawalpindi in that very exciting finish. How many female spectators were there? Hit hard and just wide of the diving backward square leg for 4. Arshad puts his hand on his head. He knows that it wasn't too far away, but it really was well struck.
It was nicely played by De Silva. Swept very well. He's getting his pad in front of the bounce and sweeping on the half volley. Been a very probing, searching over by Razak. Been almost well on target once again. Just the line, slightly outside off stump, but the height is there.
For the second time in succession, we see De Silva sweeping away, just gets a single for it. But Pakistan certainly have tightened the screws here. The balance has shifted quite markedly since that opening partnership of 58 between Jayasuriya and Atupatu, and only 8 runs being raised off the last 7 overs. Pakistan have come right back into it. 75 for 2. And we have another 6 overs after this.
It's gone through just for a couple. It's an outside middle, using the pace of the ball. Took it away nicely for Aravinda.
Yunus had a pretty short opening spell, just 5 overs, 0 to 20, bowled a couple of half volleys, got driven down the ground. Paul is now 31 overs old. One would expect in the morning some reverse swing from him. Certainly didn't get natural swing with a brand new ball. He might be looking to get it full and swing it in late, which of course he's an expert at doing.
Well, there's the man in short on the offside. And hooked away. So 4 more to Aravinda after putting the man in a short square on the offside. He bowls one, drags one down short, pulled for 4. Into the over 81 for 2. Comes into the attack for the first time. Bowls those quick leg spin googles, particularly known as a limited overs player. Certainly has had success in test matches. Oh, big full toss and missed out there.
Be a little bit aware of a 3, you're skidding onto them a little bit. We talked about the ball keeping just a little bit low.
We were talking about the performance of Nazir, the umpire, getting 7 for 99 in his first test appearance. And Shahid Afridi got 5 for 52 versus Australia. Karachi. Nice shot, 4 runs. Using the pace of the ball, won't catch up with that one. Nice little dab there from De Silva.
We've seen De Silva play this stroke to so many bowlers all around the world. Look how he's let the ball go past him. Then Turner suggested just allowed the pace of the ball to take it to the boundary. Fine of the man at backward point. Beautifully played. The late cut.
Another full toss, and this one hit through mid-wicket. Mid-wicket fairly deep, so he'll get across to prevent the boundary. So there are a couple. And that man very deep at mid-wicket, so mid-on saving the single. And a deep mid-wicket. So anticipating bowling the odd bad ball, and that's what he has to be there for. 87 for 2. It's slow at the moment and not a lot of bounce, and that may be the thing with good technique that will rescue the batsman, especially the right-handers against the off-spinner, using pad as second-line defence. Spectators. Single to that deepest wicket. So the last ball of this, the first day in the second test match here in the LG series in Peshawar. And so the Sri Lankans, at the end of the first day in the second test match in the LG series, finished at 88 for 2.
So pretty mixed second that. 37 overs, 88 for 2. Sri Lanka losing the wickets of Jayasuriya and Russell Arnold. But Atapattu is still there, playing a typical solid innings, 29 from 117 balls, and Aravinda de Silva showing flashes of brilliance there, 18 from 38. 88 for 2 from 37 overs then. Waqar Yunus only one spell, 5 overs, none for 20. Shoaib Akhtar was 10 overs on the top, 1 for 25. Arshad Khan, 14 overs for 23. Abdul Razak was very impressive. Once again, very good control over line. 6 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 9. And a couple of overs.
Now buy the all-new Dolan's inverter ACs and experience 30% stronger airthrough its wind blast feature.
It's the time taken by Karanara in the bowl just to get things right.
Talk about a batsman getting enveloped by so many fielders, the catchers around the bat. Pressure.
Blowing things down, he's having a chat to the umpire. Moraes was just asking, what have we got left? Please up, 2 to go. It's the call, and rightio, hat-trick delivery. Oh, it's a peach. It has just missed the outside edge and has just missed the hat-trick.
Is red hot. Hot to handle. Look at that bounce he extracted. Is building a reputation for himself. Prabhat Jayasuriya. 17 wickets in 2 test matches, just under 2 test matches. That's great going.
Oh, what a beauty. It has fizzed past. It's a double wicket maiden here from Jayasuriya, and it's 85%.
डॉलन्स इन्वर्टर एसी के विंड ब्लास्ट फीचर से मिले 30% ज्यादा एयर फ्लो, जो करे कमरे के हर कोने को सेकंडों में एक जैसा ठंडा, क्योंकि डॉलन्स रिलायबल है.
Illustrious company here for Prabhat Jayasuriya, given that this is also only the 3rd innings that he has bowled in test match cricket. Debut against Australia with the win, 2 sixes on the trot, now a 5-for, still got another innings to go. So no one's ever done that. No one's ever got 5 in a row, 4 consecutive innings, so i.e. 2 test matches. Extraordinary.
And the conditions well suited to the left-arm spinner.
Not
to
bad.
achieve that.
Not bad, Amy. Yeah, I can see you licking your lips trying to get out there, those part-time of yours.
Yasir Shah is no mug with a bat. Once he went past 50 mark in test match cricket, and he converted that into 100 against Australia. Loses his feet.
Indeed, Amy, but quite different conditions there, aren't they, Adelaide? Oof, good to bat on there. Parrot. Let this go. Starting to fizz off the pitch here, and we haven't had lunch on day 2.
See, that's another ability which is so impressive about the left-arm spinner. He can bowl those arm deliveries with very slow pace, very deceptive.
Now, we've got the variety in the Sri Lankan spin attack. I should say, Vanessa Hale, that was, great reflexes. Got it in the chest area, but managed to hang on, Fernando that is, under the helmet. Now you get the ball fizzing and spitting a bit from Mendes on the city end. That runs, well, it's saying where we get them from, given that wickets are top. It's just a beauty. Really good reflexes.
The best thing he did over there, he moved towards mid-wicket, fielding a shot like he was anticipating where the ball is going to go. That's brilliant.
Very good under the helm, Fernando. We've had 40. Pakistan are 87 for 7.
डॉलन्स इन्वर्टर एसी के विंड ब्लास्ट फीचर से मिले 30% ज्यादा एयर फ्लो जो करे कमरे के हर कोने को सेकंडों में एक जैसा ठंडा, क्योंकि डॉलन्स रिलायबल है।
ये देखो ये वाली बहुत अच्छी है। एक
सॉरी यार, गाड़ी खराब हो गई, कुछ करता हूँ।
हेलो